If you have ever experienced the death of a pet, you know it is a special kind of loss. My next guest is leading a pet loss support group to help others through this difficult time. Kim McCool knows from personal experience too, having lost 5 beloved animals over the years. 3 dogs, is it 3 dogs? A cat and a horse. Kim, first of all, you love animals.
I do. I do.
As many of us do. They give us something special in life, don't they?
They do. They give unconditional love. They're always there for us. They love us when we're in a bad mood.
They're never judgy.
No, they
right?
never judge.
Oh, no. It's an extraordinary relationship.
Very special.
So that when you lose it, so we have some pictures of some of you and your past pets, and you have current ones too. How many do you have now?
3.
You have 3 now? So who is this, Kim?
This is Holly.
That's Holly.
And she's the one that I lost very suddenly. This is Rolex. Came with the name, not the watch.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Thank you. He was a rescue.
And your horsey?
That's Toby. He was my dream horse.
How long did you have him?
Oh boy, about 12 years.
Oh my. So do you think, and then who, that's Sally?
That's Emma.
Emma, I'm sorry. Emma, well, who was the last to pass?
Sally.
And so that was the one that was sudden?
Yes, the one in the orange bandana. Yes.
So how was, okay, through personal experience, what was the worst part for you?
The suddenness, and then all of a sudden, there was a huge void. There was a hurt that I didn't think would ever go away. It was just empty, and sometimes I felt like I was ambushed by memories or things that happened during the day, just ordinary things. And I thought I was going crazy, to be honest.
Kim, do you think it's different from the grief we feel when we lose a person?
You know, grief is a hurt. It's a loss. If you have a physical wound, you need to tend to it to heal it. And it's the same with an emotional or spiritual wound. You have to tend to it to heal it.
Well, that's what you're going to lead people through on this. Right. It's a 5-week course. I guess you call it a course, would you? Or?
Sure.
Yeah, support group, and you're doing it it happens to be your church, but you don't have to belong to the church.
No, no.
At St. John Vianney, and so you're going to start that on coming up soon.
July 10th.
July 10th is the first one. So this is going to be the days of the week are those? I'm sorry. What
They're Sundays.
They're Sundays is when you're doing this, and it's all kinds of things. The challenges of grief, moving through your grief journey, and we thought we'd have you here today to kind of help. You know, just tell us now some of these points, because it's a real special kind of hurt that people struggle with for a long time.
They can, yes. Sometimes the grief doesn't even hit them until months later.
Some of the signs associated, you had shared these, so we're going to put some of these on screen. Some of the common feelings after the death of a pet. Disorientation and confusion is one of them.
Right.
Tell me about that. Did you have that?
Oh, yes. Sometimes you start a task, you can't finish it, you get confused, you don't remember if you just did something, you forget what.
Guilt and regret are on there as well. Tell me about the guilt.
The guilt, sometimes if a pet has been ill for a long time, you know, could I, woulda, shoulda, you know, dealt with it sooner? Was there a sign that I missed that maybe my pet could have been healed? Regret that I didn't do things sooner.
And, you know, I know when you talk about ways to cope, some of what you're going to talk about is just giving yourself permission to grieve. If you know some folks who've never lost a pet, they might be saying, get over it, it's an animal, right? Did you hear that?
I did. I did.
What's your response to that for people who say that to a grieving person?
Usually when people say that to a grieving person, they don't understand. They have not felt a loss of a pet before, because there is that special bond. And for me, I just kind of withdrew. I didn't argue. I felt that I wasn't normal.
So find people who have, so that's what support groups are about.
Exactly.
Finding people who know how you feel because they're there too.
Right.
They've been there too. Exactly. So that's an important thing. Talk to another animal lover, right?
Exactly. You can't heal or reconcile your grief until you confront it or face it. Don't run away from it. And that's why a support group like this is so important. You'll be with like-minded people.
Yes.
That have suffered as well.
Right. And you can hear their stories, and everybody cries together. And
well, they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I liked this idea that you had about doing something special to honor your own pet. And that's kind of a thing that can help you.
Yes.
Like, give me an example.
For example, for me, when we lost Holly, that was so sudden, I found that the way to help with my grief was to sit down and journal. I wrote every day. Every time something struck me, I would write it down. And I can look back on that now. And it was very healing.
Yeah.
I could really get some things out on paper.
We're actually going to talk about that tomorrow on the show, about journaling through all kinds of things, a cancer journey or whatever, how it releases emotion and really does help.
It does.
So this is just part of what you're going to learn if you go to this pet loss support group that Kim is leading up. And she was specially certified in this, by the way. There's a certification involved in the grieving the loss of a pet. And so it is happening at St. John Vianney Church in Bettendorf, 5 Sundays in a row, starting on July 10th, from 2 to 4. There's an email address where you could go to sign up. Is there any cost?
No,
There's
no
no cost at all.
No.
And what if you're only up for 1 or 2 of them?
That's fine.
That's just fine?
That's
Are you
fine.
going to put a cap on the number of people who can attend, Kim?
Not at this point. What I would also like to offer, sometimes when it's anticipatory grief, where a pet is very ill and is ill for a long time, that's also a type of grief. So I would welcome people going through that as well,
yes,
too.
they have a pet now who is not well.
Who's failing,
Yes, who's failing and maybe will not make it, or yes.
Right.
Pet loss support groups, so there are brochures as well, and I'm sure Kim will make these available to you too, right?
I will.
Kim, thank you so much.
Thank
I mean,
you,
I just
Paula.
think this is a very relatable thing for many of us.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping.